Welcome to our deep dive
Uh,
into the life of Jonathan Kaye.
all right.
We're going to be exploring excerpts from his book, En route to the Sunrise Saloon,
Okay.
to really kind of understand his experience with bipolar disorder
Right.
and how his intense drive for success played a role in both his accomplishments and his struggles.
Interesting.
We'll see how Kaye ultimately finds a sense of balance,
Okay.
and we'll uncover the insights his journey offers.
Yeah, it's fascinating how Kay's story really dives into this complex relationship between ambition and mental well-being.
Yeah.
It challenges the notion that outward success guarantees inner peace.
Right. Yeah, and right from the beginning, Kaye paints this picture of a man in constant motion.
Mm-hmm.
He's always on the phone, working deals, juggling properties.
Sounds like it.
A true real estate hustler.
Wow.
He even quotes Richard Branson, saying, "You need to be creative, innovative, and willing to take risks when you're starting with limited resources." Do you think this mindset, while contributing to his early achievements,
Yeah,
might also have foreshadowed his later struggles?
there's definitely a possibility there.
Yeah.
That quote speaks to a certain intensity, a
Mhm.
relentless drive that can be both a blessing and a curse.
Right.
It's like a powerful engine that needs careful handling.
Mm.
It can propel you forward, but also burn you out if you're not careful.
Oh, for sure. And then there's the near sinking of his boat, the Fair Saray,
Oh, wow.
a moment that seems like a turning point in his story.
Yeah. Traumatic events like that can definitely trigger mental health episodes,
Oh, yeah.
especially for individuals with underlying vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
It's like a stress test
Mm.
that reveals the cracks in the foundation.
It's after this trip that things really start to unravel for Kaye.
Oh.
He describes feeling increasingly overwhelmed,
Okay.
struggling with simple tasks,
Mhm.
and battling intense anger and frustration.
Oh, wow.
He even mentions obsessively dusting his condo, which I
Ah.
found a bit odd.
That's actually a fairly common symptom of anxiety
Yeah.
and a need for control.
Okay.
When your internal world feels chaotic,
Yeah,
you try to impose order on your external environment.
I see.
It's a way of creating a sense of stability in the midst of turmoil.
He also talks about a dark cloud hanging over him,
Oh.
a feeling of hopelessness he can't shake.
Whoa.
It's almost like a physical weight pressing down on him.
That's a classic description of the debilitating nature of depression.
Yeah.
It's more than just sadness.
Yeah.
It's a loss of energy,
Yeah.
a lack of motivation,
Mm.
and a profound sense of emptiness.
Right.
It's like the color has been drained out of life.
Things escalate pretty quickly after that.
Oh.
Kaye crashes his father's car in the middle of the night
Oh, no.
and ends up involuntarily committed to a psychiatric hospital.
Wow.
It feels like a cry for help.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the severity of this breaking point?
It's a clear indication that he was in a state of crisis,
Right.
potentially at risk of harming himself or others. Thankfully, this led him to get the professional care he desperately needed.
It's in the hospital that he receives the diagnosis of bipolar disorder,
Okay.
which seems to bring him a sense of relief.
A diagnosis, even if it's for something serious, can be incredibly validating.
Yeah.
It provides a framework for understanding your experiences
Mm-hmm.
and opens the door to targeted treatment options.
Yeah.
It can be the first step towards healing and recovery.
He even jokes about it,
Oh, really?
saying, "Oh, is that all?"
Wow.
Which is kind of surprising given the weight of such a diagnosis.
Yeah, humor can be a powerful coping mechanism,
Yeah.
especially in the face of difficult circumstances.
Yeah.
It allows individuals to process complex emotions
Mm-hmm.
and maintain a sense of perspective.
Right.
It can be a way of reclaiming power and agency in a situation that feels overwhelming.
He starts medication,
Okay.
but also mentions relying on humor
Mm-hmm.
throughout his treatment.
Mm-hmm.
How might that have contributed to his overall recovery?
Humor can play a significant role in managing mental health challenges.
Okay.
It can provide a momentary escape from stress
Right.
and foster a sense of connection with others.
Yeah.
It's important to note that while humor can be incredibly beneficial,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a substitute for professional help.
Okay.
It's a complementary tool, not a cure-all.
So after this period of crisis and diagnosis,
Yeah.
Kaye discovers his passion for polo.
Oh, wow.
He even decides to stop taking his lithium,
Really?
viewing polo as a form of organic medication,
Hmm.
which raises some concerns.
It's incredible how Polo provided him with such a positive outlet.
Yeah.
However, I must emphasize that discontinuing medication should never be done without professional guidance.
Right.
Mental health treatment needs to be individualized.
Yeah.
And while activities like polo can be incredibly beneficial,
Right.
they shouldn't replace evidence-based treatments without careful consideration and medical supervision.
It sounds like there's a lot more to unpack about how this sport became such a powerful force in his recovery. Yeah. But before we get into that, I want to take a step back
Okay.
and dig deeper into something Kai mentions early on about his childhood and his relationship with his father.
Mm-hmm.
He hints at a need for approval,
Okay.
a desire to prove himself.
Right.
Could this have been a factor in his relentless drive?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Early childhood experiences,
Mm-hmm.
especially those shaping our sense of self-worth,
Right.
can have a lasting impact on our behaviors and motivations.
Yeah.
The need for validation can be a powerful driver, sometimes even leading to unhealthy patterns if not addressed.
It's as if he was chasing external validation,
Yeah.
perhaps hoping to fill an internal void.
Right.
Do you think this constant pressure to succeed contributed to his eventual breakdown?
It's certainly a factor worth exploring.
Yeah.
When you're driven by a need to prove yourself,
Right.
you may push yourself beyond your limits, neglecting your well-being in the process. It's like running a marathon at sprint speed. Eventually, something has to give.
So we're seeing a complex interplay between Kaye's ambition,
Yeah.
his need for approval, and his mental health. Before we delve further into his recovery journey through polo,
Okay.
let's take a closer look at the potential connection between these early experiences and his later struggles.
Right.
It seems like Jonathan Kaye's childhood experiences might hold some valuable clues about his relentless drive and his eventual breakdown.
Yeah.
Could you tell us more about how these early influences might play out later in life?
Absolutely. You see, when someone grows up feeling a constant need for approval, that desire can become deeply ingrained in their psyche. It can drive them to achieve, to succeed as a way of seeking validation from others.
Right.
Especially figures they perceive as authority, like a parent.
It's like they're constantly trying to earn love and acceptance
Exactly.
through their accomplishments.
And while this drive can be incredibly powerful, pushing them to achieve great things,
Right.
it can also be a double-edged sword. They may struggle to set boundaries,
Okay.
pushing themselves beyond their limits,
Yeah.
even sacrificing their well-being in the pursuit of external validation.
And we see this in Kaye's story.
Right.
He's constantly pushing, striving, never quite feeling satisfied.
Yeah.
Do you think this relentless pursuit of success, fueled by a need for approval, might have created the perfect storm for his breakdown?
It's definitely a significant factor to consider when you're running on that kind of high-octane fuel, always striving for the next goal, the next achievement.
Yeah.
You can lose sight of your own needs.
Right.
The pressure builds, the stress mounts, and eventually the body and mind can only take so much.
And it seems like the near sinking of the fair Sari,
Right.
that traumatic experience might have been the catalyst,
Yeah.
the crack in the foundation that led to the whole structure crumbling.
Trauma can have a profound impact on mental health, especially when it intersects with pre-existing vulnerabilities. It can act like a seismic shock, shaking the very core of your being and revealing the fault lines that were already there.
So we have this complex interplay of factors.
Yeah.
The drive for success, the need for approval, a traumatic experience, all converging to create a perfect storm for Kaye's breakdown.
Right.
Now let's shift our focus to his recovery.
Okay.
He finds solace and healing in polo.
Interesting.
What is it about this sport in particular that seems to resonate with him so deeply?
Polo, by its very nature, demands intense focus and presence.
Okay.
You're on horseback, maneuvering a mallet, coordinating with teammates.
Right.
All while traveling at high speeds.
Wow.
It requires you to be completely present in the moment, leaving little room for mental chatter or rumination.
So it's almost like a form of mindfulness in motion.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And for someone like Kaye, who's been trapped in a cycle of overthinking and striving, that sense of being fully present, fully engaged in the physicality of the sport
Right.
can be incredibly liberating. It offers a respite from the constant mental churn, allowing him to reconnect with his body and experience a sense of flow.
Beyond the mental benefits, polo also seems to provide him with a sense of community, a sense of belonging.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Team sports in general offer a unique opportunity to connect with others who share a common passion. There's a sense of camaraderie, of shared purpose that can be incredibly healing,
Right.
especially for someone who may have been feeling isolated or disconnected.
It's interesting that he chooses to describe polo as his organic medication, even going so far as to discontinue his prescribed lithium. While it's fantastic that he's found something so beneficial,
Yeah.
it raises concerns about the potential risks of self-treating mental health conditions.
You're absolutely right to raise that concern.
Yeah.
While I applaud Kaye for finding an activity that brings him so much joy and healing, it's crucial to emphasize that mental health is complex.
Okay.
And treatment decisions should always be made in consultation with a qualified healthcare professional.
There's a fine line between advocating for finding activities that support well-being
Yeah,
and promoting the idea that they can replace traditional treatments.
absolutely. It's not about one versus the other.
Right.
It's about finding a holistic approach that combines evidence-based treatments with lifestyle choices that support overall mental health.
So while Polo may not be a literal medication,
Right.
it seems to be acting as a powerful therapeutic tool for Kaye.
Yeah.
What are some of the key mechanisms at play here?
There are several factors contributing to Polo's positive impact on Kaye's well-being.
Okay.
First, as we mentioned, there's the mindfulness aspect.
Right.
The ability to be fully present in the moment, quieting the mental noise that often accompanies anxiety and depression. Second, there's the physical exercise component.
Yeah.
Exercise in general has been shown to have mood-boosting effects, releasing endorphins that improve feelings of well-being.
And it's not just the endorphins, it's the sense of mastery.
Right.
The feeling of accomplishment that comes from pushing yourself physically and mentally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for Kaye, who's always been driven to achieve, Polo offers a healthy outlet for that drive.
Okay.
A way to channel his energy and focus into something positive and life-affirming.
It's like he's found a way to redirect that intense energy that was previously fueling his workaholism
Yeah.
and channel it into something that nourishes his soul.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
And beyond the individual benefits, there's also the social aspect, the sense of community and belonging that comes with being part of a team.
It's like he's found a tribe,
Right.
a group of people who understand and support him, a place where he can be himself without judgment.
Yeah.
That sense of connection can be incredibly powerful in the healing process.
Absolutely. Human beings are social creatures by nature.
Right.
We thrive on connection, on feeling a sense of belonging. And for someone struggling with mental health challenges, that sense of connection can be a lifeline, a reminder that they're not alone in their struggles.
So Polo seems to be offering Kaye a multifaceted approach to healing.
Yeah.
Mindfulness, physical exercise, a sense of mastery, and the social support of a team.
Right.
It's a holistic approach that addresses both the body and the mind.
Exactly.
But as you mentioned earlier, it's important to remember that what works for one person may not work for everyone.
That's a crucial point.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution to mental health challenges. It's about finding what works for you, what resonates with your individual needs and preferences. And that often involves a combination of approaches, including traditional treatments like therapy and medication, alongside lifestyle choices that support overall well-being.
So as we continue to explore Kaye's journey, let's delve deeper into this idea of finding balance. He's found success in business. He's found healing in Polo. But is there more to the story?
Yeah.
What does true balance look like for someone like Jonathan Kaye? So we've been following Jonathan Kaye's journey from the heights of success to the depths of a breakdown and his inspiring recovery through Polo. Now I'm curious to explore what true balance looks like for someone like Kaye, someone driven by such intensity and ambition.
It's a crucial question because balance isn't a static destination.
Right.
It's an ongoing process of self-regulation and adjustment.
Yeah.
For Kaye, it seems to involve finding outlets for his energy that both fuel his passions and provide a sense of peace.
So it's not about suppressing his drive,
No, not at all.
but rather channeling it in a healthier direction.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that ambition in itself isn't a bad thing.
Right.
It's the force that propels us forward, that motivates us to achieve great things.
Yeah.
The key is to harness that energy without letting it consume us.
Kaye talks about the importance of finding activities that bring him genuine happiness, not just external validation. Do you think this shift in perspective plays a significant role in his ability to achieve balance?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When your happiness is contingent on external factors like success or recognition,
Right.
you're constantly chasing a moving target. True balance comes from cultivating a sense of inner peace and fulfillment that's not dependent on external circumstances.
It's like he's learned to find joy in the journey itself, not just the destination.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's about appreciating the process, the ups and downs, the challenges and triumphs as all part of the rich tapestry of life.
He also mentions the importance of setting boundaries,
Yeah.
of recognizing his limits
Yeah.
and prioritizing self-care.
Right.
These seem like crucial skills for anyone,
Yeah.
especially someone prone to pushing themselves too hard.
You're absolutely right. Setting boundaries is essential for protecting our physical and emotional well-being.
Yeah.
It's about learning to say no, to delegate, to prioritize rest and rejuvenation. It's about recognizing that we can't pour from an empty cup.
So it sounds like Kaye's journey toward balance involves a combination of factors.
Right.
Channeling his energy into fulfilling pursuits, finding joy in the process, setting healthy boundaries,
Yeah.
and prioritizing self-care.
Exactly.
But there's one more aspect I want to touch on.
Okay.
His decision to be open and vulnerable about his struggles.
Right.
Do you think that played a role in his healing?
Sharing our stories, especially the ones we tend to keep hidden, can be incredibly cathartic.
Yeah.
It's a way of releasing shame, connecting with others,
Right.
realizing that we're not alone in our struggles.
And it seems like Kaye's willingness to be vulnerable, both in his personal life and in his writing, has created a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same.
It's a powerful reminder that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength.
Hmm.
It's what allows us to connect with each other on a deeper level, to build empathy, and to create a more compassionate world.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the life of Jonathan Kaye,
Okay.
what key takeaways would you want our listeners to walk away with?
First and foremost, I'd say that resilience is not about avoiding challenges or setbacks,
Right.
but about learning to navigate them with grace and strength.
Mm.
It's about developing coping mechanisms, seeking support when needed,
Yep.
and recognizing that setbacks are opportunities for growth.
And it seems like finding balance is a key ingredient in cultivating resilience.
Absolutely. Balance is not about achieving some perfect equilibrium,
Right.
but about finding a sustainable rhythm for our lives.
Yeah.
It's about honoring our needs, both physical and emotional,
Mm-hmm.
and making choices that align with our values.
And finally, I think Kaye's story highlights the transformative power of vulnerability.
Yes, embracing vulnerability allows us to break down the walls we build around ourselves, to connect with others,
Right.
and to foster a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
It's through vulnerability that we truly find strength and healing.
Jonathan Kaye's journey is a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome adversity, to find meaning and purpose, and to create a life filled with both passion and balance.
Right.
We hope his story has inspired you to embrace your own journey, to find your own unique path to resilience and well-being.
And remember, you are not alone in this journey. We
Mhm.
all face challenges, we all experience setbacks, but we also have the power to choose how we respond, to learn from our experiences, and to create a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling.